We'll now call the business session of June 17th, 2025 to order at 6:10 p.m. All council members are present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item of business tonight is to consider the minutes of the June 3, 2025 regular session city council meeting. These minutes were provided in the meeting packet. Are there any corrections? There being no corrections, the minutes stand approved as submitted. The next item to consider is proclamations, and we have a special proclamation for Waste and Recycling Workers Week. And I will meet Amanda Dyer down at the podium.
Yes, she's there.
You're all right. Good to see you. This is a fun week here today. Waste and Recycling Workers Week. We have a lot of activity this afternoon.
Got it.
Landfill and recycling and methane management and all this is part of an overall strategy that Amanda is in charge of. The refuse bin we have in Central Texas is huge, and the recycling we have associated with that really extends the life of our landfills. Very good things for me. Still tested. We did a decent recycling program. In fact, because we never really landfill ready and almost very little. Appreciate your efforts and the efforts of our citizens here in the city of Waco. Can you hear me now? I'm not going to start over. But anyway, yeah, thank you for all the work that you've done in recycling. I did a public service announcement many years ago about recycling. That was a lot of fun. And it might be time to recycle that, could be. So, Josh, did you get a kick out of that one?
Great,
Good.
Scott.
So I'm just going to say, Waste and Recycling Workers Week. Appreciate it. It's a very serious business you guys are doing and appreciate the success we've had in Waco. So I'm now going to give this to you, Amanda, at the Jim Holmes, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Waco, Texas, do hereby proclaim July 16th to the 20th, 2025, as Waste and Recycling Workers Week in the city of Waco. So let's hear it. We have a big week coming up. I urge all citizens to join the city council, city staff, and me in recognizing and honoring the many dedicated employees of the Public Works Department Solid Waste Division. These essential workers provide services that go far beyond basic waste collection. They're instrumental in protecting the environment and promoting public health through responsible waste management and recycling initiatives. The role of waste and recycling management goes far beyond collection and disposal. It provides a variety of services and programs designed to protect and reduce the impact waste can have on the environment. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention attribute the elimination of many diseases in the Western world in large part to improved public sanitation practices, including proper waste disposal. In Waco, responsible collection, recycling, and diversion of waste are vital to preventing litter and illegal dumping while advancing sustainability goals. During this special week, the world takes time to recognize the dedicated efforts of the workers who keep our communities clean. The observance of this week also celebrates the great strides that industry and experts are taking to make the world better for all of us. In testimony whereof, witness my hand and the seal of the city of Waco, the 17th day of June, signed by me and all of the city council members up there. Congratulations. Would staff please come up? Let's get a pic.
Nice. That's awesome. Just a minute.
Council and Mayor, I just want to say thank you for this recognition of our hardworking solid waste staff. They are a very committed team, and they work hard every day, and I'm just very happy to be part of that team, and thank you for this recognition.
The next item to consider tonight is public hearing 2025-427, and Director Price.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. This is a public hearing to receive comments on the 2025-2026 Annual Action Plan prior to submission to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The City of Waco Citizen Participation Plan requires that the city conduct a public hearing to receive comments on the 2025-2026 Annual Action Plan prior to submission to HUD. The Annual Action Plan includes a housing, homeless, and community development needs plan for addressing priority needs and the city's specific plans for the use and spending of the 2025-2026 Community Development Block Grant Funds and the Home Investment Partnerships Program funds. The plan will be made available for the public's review from June 17th of 2025 through July 17th of 2025. The annual action plan will be brought back for a second public hearing on August 5th of 2025 and a resolution for approval at the August 5th, 2025 council meeting as well. Hard copies will be made available for the public's viewing in the city secretary's office, the housing office, and the public libraries. The notice of this public hearing was published in the non-legal section of the Waco Tribune Herald, posted on the city's website, posted at the city's libraries, and on the city's bulletin boards. No council action is required for this public hearing.
Thank you, Director Price. Does anybody up here have a question for Director Price on this item? Okay, I'm now going to open a public hearing for comments. Is anyone registered to speak, Assistant City Secretary? No, then I will close the public hearing, and there's no action required on this item. Thank you, Director Price. The next item to consider is public hearing 2025-428. Director Peters.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council, this is a continuance of a public hearing to consider an ordinance rezoning from R1B to plan unit development for a concept PUD plan known as Hilltop Heights PUD, consisting of 63 single-family residential lots on property beginning approximately 350 feet southeast of the intersection of Loop 340 and Kendall Lane on approximately 10.71 acres, and described as an 8.042 acre and a 2.666 acre tract of land situated in the Thomas de la Vega Survey, Abstract 42 in McLennan County, Texas. Based on discussions and feedback received after the April 22nd, 2025 Plan Commission meetings and a review of other similar residential PUDs, staff recommends the following 5 additional conditions to be added to the 4 in the Plan Commission recommendation. Staff recommends approval of concept plans with all 9 conditions. The additional conditions include the sidewalk connecting the PUD to Buena Vista Park shall be constructed as part of the subdivision infrastructure, not at the time of individual lot development. Sidewalks shall be installed on both sides of all streets at the time of development of the lot. Front setback shall be a minimum of 25 feet from the property line to the building facade with a garage, and a minimum of 20 feet from the property line and the building facade without a garage. Corner lot setback shall not be less than 20% of the lot width, and rear setbacks may be reduced to 5 feet from the rear property line, provided that the maximum coverage of the site of the building and paved area does not exceed 65% of the total lot area. These are in addition to the 4 conditions that Plan Commission recommended, which include development standards consistent with the concept PUD plan and site requirements of the Plan Review Committee in accordance with the subdivision ordinance prior to issuance of the building permit, compliance with the design standards in section 28-23, and then coordination of the sidewalk extension from the development to Buena Vista Park. The applicant did provide a revised site plan that does show sidewalk on all the streets in accordance with the new recommendation, plus the sidewalk connection to Buena Vista Parks. And they have adjusted their setbacks to meet those conditions as well. And then here's a table with a breakdown of the difference between the current R1B zoning and what's being proposed in the PUD. And then also, they did submit building elevations that are in compliance with the design standards in 28-23 of the ordinance. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Are there any questions for Director Peters?
Yes, Clint, thank you for these updates. The only question I have is one that I'm sure I know the answer to, but I was asked about the infrastructure support and that in the area, and if this development would have any effect on the infrastructure, or is the infrastructure that's in place enough to sustain this development?
It is. We looked at that, and then the difference between what's currently allowed in the existing zoning and what's being proposed is 13 lots, 14 lots, I'm sorry. So the impact on the existing infrastructure is pretty minimal with the, yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring comfort to the questions, so we appreciate that.
Any other questions? I know that one of the things we talked about the last time this came up was sidewalks on both sides of the street, and that, I see that's one of the conditions. And another one was a 25-foot setback, and that is included in the additional conditions. So I don't think I had any additional questions.
Yeah, I would point out the 25-foot setback would be from a garage, so they would be able to push the rest of the house up to 20 foot, but the garage would need to be at least setback 25, so you know, a car could fit in the driveway comfortably without overhanging the sidewalk. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, any other questions? I'll now open a public hearing for comments. We do have a couple cards, but I want to make sure I first call on the applicant. And I see Mr. Jackson in the audience here tonight. Please come down, Mr. Jackson, and state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Larry W. Jackson, 13004 Rainier Drive, Woodway, Texas, 76712. And we have made the adjustments that city required of us to do and already turned everything back in that meets approval. All the plans, everything meets every requirement that they asked. And I'll just restate that the entranceway does come off of Loop 340 with a right turn in and right turn out. It's already approved by TxDOT. And when TxDOT does finish the construction on that end of the loop, which is going to be in the next couple of years, they're working on the plans right now. The entranceway will actually come off the access road. It won't even be on the, well, it'll be on the access road along the loop. But anyway, I just ask that y'all approve the PUD application. We have met all city requirements, and they actually all are already all turned in, plans, everything.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Any questions?
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Oh, and just to answer Ms. Barfield's question, Clint was correct. We actually did a water and sewer study, so everything was checked out.
Thank you.
We now have a couple cards on this, and the first speaker here will be Roy H. Trussell. Mr. Trussell, please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes when you get to the podium.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us and talk with me. My name is Roy Trussell. I'm a retired superintendent of schools at Bosqueville. I've lived in the Timbercrest area since 1975 when we built our home. I'm here to speak in opposition to it. This is actually my third time to come before the council. I came before it 2 other times when they tried to develop it back there. And fortunately for us, the council upheld our wishes and did not approve it. But there are several reasons why that we would like that changed and not approved. One is the traffic flow in that community, and one is a very tight community. The streets are not that great. It is a speed trap already for people coming down the streets, Madeira, Post Oak, from the park and from the other softball playground and soccer fields down there. We have a lot of young kids that are in the street. Somebody's going to get hurt if we just start turning all that traffic down. Second of all, it will impair our property itself, because once it is built, it will be right on top of our property line. It will mean that it was going to cost us a great deal of money to put up some type of privacy fence. And then, as I'm looking at some of the housing that was proposed there, an 8-foot fence won't be enough if they're above that and looking down. So we'll have to make some other reservations if you're wanting privacy in those homes. And I want to say this about safety too, and just a quick example. Just before I talked to the council a few years ago, I had heard a crash out there on Loop 340, right at the top of the hill where they're going to be coming in and out. And I ran over there real quick and didn't realize that that was my split end that played football for me and was killed instantly. So I'm saying to you that it's a terrible traffic problem. I can sit on Kendall Lane and sit there to get on Loop 340 for at least 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And we wait longer than that on certain days and on holidays. Traffic flow is going to be a terrible mess there. And I just don't see that working, and our community is going to be changed forever. Let's just be realistic about it. It won't be what we have been used to. And my wife and I have even talked about it. We have some property elsewhere. If it turns out like we think it's going to turn out, we're just going to sell our house for whatever we can sell it and whoever we can sell it to and get out of the city of Waco. We just can't and won't take all that problem. And we know it's going to be a problem, I can assure you that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trussell. Our next card is from Telly Ramsey. Ms. Ramsey, as you approach the podium, please state your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Telly Ramsey. I'm at 4101 Hermosa Street, Waco, Texas, 76705. I see my house right on that picture. It's a great pleasure being before you. I know some of you, worked with some of you before. And I'm very thankful that y'all have turned down these proposals in the past. I agree with everything that Mr. Trussell just stated. The thought of that many homes and that many more people joining our neighborhood is kind of frightening given the traffic flow patterns that we've had, given that in the last few years we've had leagues of various varieties, baseball, soccer, softball. We have hundreds of kids like at that park given certain days of the week, and lots of kids going on the streets, and then cars going extremely fast. When we want to go, like he said, a left turn off of Kendall onto the loop, we have to wait forever. So most people, I was just talking to another neighbor, most people, we just go down those roads like Berkshire and Crow and Alston and all the way to Orchard Lane to get to the traffic stop there just to get onto the loop. It's so bad. So I can only imagine just how much worse it might be. So I would like for the council to please stand firm on your current ordinances and zoning regulations, at the very least, what you've done in the past. Keep our Timbercrest neighborhood in that area the way it's been with zoning, so we don't have quite so many people and crowding. I would strongly encourage the council to deny the special zoning variances for the proposed development, and please refrain from allocating city funding to support this project or others like it in our neighborhood. I would also like to bring up that if this goes through, maybe perhaps we could have some urban development planning in place if this is an insistent thing that must go through. Maybe the developer could bring some more stores or other things. We had the very first store, like in my memory, in the last 35 years open up just recently in our neighborhood. So it's kind of a desert there to get to anywhere. So some urban planning and some planning for the future would be paramount to this. And we want our neighborhood to stay where it's been. I talk to people all over the city, Bike Club and other things, and they always talk about, oh, you live in East Waco, and then, oh, I live in Timbercrest. Oh, what a hidden gem. And it really is. It's a special community that we love to death, and we don't want it to go by the wayside. Those are the main points I wanted to say. Please take what I've said into consideration, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Ramsey. Appreciate your comments. Those are the only opponent cards we've received. And Mr. Jackson, by rule of order, you have an opportunity to speak one more time.
Well, first to answer their questions, we've never applied to try to do anything on this property. The previous owner may have tried to put it one time, I believe, wanted to try to put rental property in their duplexes or something of that nature, which would have been a different density, a different product to begin with. And as I said, this project is approved by TxDOT with a right turn in and a right turn out. So nobody's going to be trying to make a left-hand turn in there. Even the entranceway, the street is going to be set up for right turn and right turn out only. I'm a little puzzled. On one hand, the lady said she didn't want any more traffic, but yet she wants to bring stores in, which would actually bring more traffic. So I'm a little puzzled on that one. But it actually does, what we're doing actually does fit the urban plan that the city has had out for many years. So, I mean, it's there for everybody to look at on the city side if they just wanted to go look. So, thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Is anyone else present who'd like to speak regarding this particular public hearing item? Seeing no speakers, so I'll now. Oh, please.
I would, I'd like to say something, please.
Come on. Just when you get to the podium, please state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. My name is Jack Abel, live on 2600 Kendall Lane. We've been living there since 2011. And Kendall Lane, there's a speed limit right now for 35 miles an hour. And it doesn't matter what time of day, people speed up and down the road. My wife done got rear-ended pulling into the driveway. And he wants to build 63 houses on 10 acres. I was in construction most of my life. I mean, there's going to be a lot of houses on a small piece of property. And like the lady was saying a while ago about Loop 340 in Kendall Lane, just a month or so back, there was a lady, it was about 9 o'clock at night, making a left-hand turn off the loop onto Kendall Lane. She got rear-ended, threw into another vehicle. She died right there on the spot. There's been lots of accidents in that area. We see fire trucks all the time at nighttime going from across Kendall Lane to Loop 340. And I'm just worried about what kind of housing is going to be. Is it going to be government housing? Is it going to be, nobody knows. And just don't want a bad influence in that neighborhood. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we've been living there, grew up in Bellmead, Timbercrest area my whole life. And like I said, it's gotten pretty hairy, even on Orchard Lane. The traffic on Orchard Lane has got a speed limit, but I've been passed trying to turn into my driveway, turn signal on, people come around me on the left-hand side trying to turn into my driveway, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Yeah, my turn signal's on, it's been on for over 100 feet. Either way, and somebody always tries to pass you. But that's all I got to say. We're just worried about the neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. Abel.
Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, I'm going to give you one more shot if you'd like to come up. Well, before you come back, is there anyone else who'd like to speak for or against? Okay. Come, please approach. We'll get to you, Larry. As you approach the podium, please state your name, and you'll have name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hello, I'm Michelle Abel. I live at 2600 Kendall Lane. I bought my home in 2011, and we have progressively seen crime get worse and worse and worse in our neighborhood. Actually, the weekend of June 7th, We had 2 drive-by shootings on Berkshire. We've had lots of trouble. Speeding is a major problem. Like my husband said, I was pulling into my driveway, and I got rear-ended, and he hit me, the kid hit me so hard, he threw me up into my driveway 50 feet. He hit me so hard, I flew up into the roof of my car and hit my head. And Orchard, there's a speed limit on Orchard at 40 miles an hour. People fly by you, go around you, the same way on Kendall. We have called, we have begged. Fireworks are out of control, every single firework holiday. I mean, some of us still have cattle in that neighborhood. And the fireworks are so bad, the cattle will run and run through the fence. We've had cattle break off horns. It's out of control. We have begged and begged for help. Things are not going to get any better if we build a big subdivision next to us. Our park, our children, it's just not safe. Going to our mailbox, he's almost been run over several times. My neighbor was almost run over. I mean, you can't even check your mail on Kendall. So, no, we're not happy about this. I mean, as a neighborhood, we're not happy. We would like things to get under control, not more out of control. Things are out of control as it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Abel. Is anybody else out there? We have another person. Please approach the podium, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. Please say your name and address as you get to the podium.
My name is Jenny Richardson Urban. I live at 4300 Timbercrest, Waco 76705. And that gym is not turning into a brilliant gym due to we have rent houses in there, and all more housing will bring all sorts of different type of people. I do have a question, and so how are they going to apply? And if they apply for that, are we going to have any Section 8 housing?
Are you finished with your deal? We can get Clint to answer that.
I'm through. Thank you.
Okay. Clint can, I guess, is in order to answer the question on Section 8 or what it's eligible for, or part of the PUD.
No, this is planned for market rate housing. There's no restrictions on income on it.
Right. Okay, are there any other, does anybody else want to speak on this? We got some.
May I come back up for one additional thing?
No, I think we've already had your 3 minutes. No one else? Let me be clear. Okay. Opponents are finished now. Mr. Jackson, you have a rebuttal, and this will be the last speaker on this item.
All right, thank you, Jim. I'll say again, TxDOT has already approved the entranceway for right turn in and right turn out, so nobody's going to be trying to make left-hand turns coming in and out of this subdivision. There is no Section 8 housing, there's no government housing, and I would believe that the people that are going to be purchasing these homes, even though we're trying to keep the cost down, I mean, they're going to start at $250,000. I mean, they're going to be good citizens, good neighbors. I mean, they're going to be taking care of their houses and stuff. I mean, you know. So I just think those are non-issues and worries, just something to say something about. Anyway, thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. We're now closing the public hearing. Do I hear a motion on this public hearing?
Move for approval.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Mayor, let me just say, I truly understand and I appreciate the Timbercrest residents for coming out and talking about this. If you've been engaged in watching this council navigate our housing crisis at all in the past 5 years, you know that land is the only thing they're not making more of, and so we have to do what we think is right for our citizens as a whole and our residents as a whole. And we're very particular about the standards that we set for building homes and changing these particular, for instance, this request to form a PUD for lot size. density is something that, even though we're not accustomed to it, is what it's gonna take in order for us to house the residents who want to be housed in this community. Again, we're at a deficit of about 5,000 units, and that's not gonna change. It's only gonna get more of a deficit if we don't do something right now. I understand change is uncomfortable, and what we're committed to as a city is, getting with PD, getting with our traffic engineers to make sure that any addition to this neighborhood is done so with intentionality and with the desire to protect our residents and keep them safe, because safety is our #1 priority as a whole, whether it be through traffic engineering, through studies, through police presence, through any of that. But I do want to be clear that everyone deserves an opportunity for fair housing, regardless of who they are or what their financial position is. And we have a responsibility to do that in the best and clearest way, holistically, for our residents. And I think that this council does a very good job at that. And Mr. Jackson has presented a way to create more density, more housing within our community to help solve our problem, because we can't do it alone. And it will take a private partnership like that, some public partnerships as we have coming up on the docket later. And we're all gonna have to do this work to make Waco better for Wacoans, all Wacoans. And, we kind of put Mr. Jackson through the ringer because there were some things that we wanted a very particular way. And he worked with our staff to get those problems solved. So I think that, as we move forward to try to solve for our housing issue, we're gonna do so with developments like this, but without losing sight of your concerns. So, we'll make sure that, everybody's staff has your information, and, if you've reached out to staff, reached out to PD, reached out to me, whatever, we hear you. But we've still got to do what we have to do for the whole of some parts. And urban density and urban planning, luckily, we have a really dynamic planning team and staff. And I think that between them, the economic development team, the partnerships that we have with the various chambers, and even in our neighboring cities in Belmead, we can try to solve for the desert issues that are in that side. I do understand we have several deserts in District 1. And the Timbercrest side has grown substantially in the past 20 years. And so we need to start making some adjustments in how we create and develop economic vitality for that area. So I know that I hear you, okay?
And Mayor, I'll just add, I echo those sentiments. I think that, I know that more housing doesn't mean worse neighbors.
Right.
And to Mayor Pro Tem Bearfield's point, this is now the third meeting at which we've continued this public hearing with Mr. Jackson, and he has worked with us and shown a willingness to play ball with the many requests that we've thrown at him. If the folks here tonight in opposition to this want to go back and watch the first meeting, Councilwoman Bearfield and I, she motioned to approve this. I seconded it just now. We both were pretty against it at that point. Mr. Jackson has continued to work with our staff and get to a point where we feel very comfortable with the development and the need it's addressing by providing housing opportunities in our city. With that being said, I would hope that the same attitude that Mr. Jackson has displayed in working with us to find the best outcome for this development, he would not then turn his shoulder to the surrounding community as they had needs. Obviously, not everything that is requested can be done, but I would hope that everyone can continue to operate in good faith for the best outcome for this neighborhood.
Well said. Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. Assistant City Secretary Spikes, please pull the council.
Mayor, may I clarify that the motion is with the approval of all 9 conditions?
Yes.
And the second is with that knowledge?
Yes, with all 9 conditions.
Yes. Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please pull the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano,
Yes.
Porterud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase.
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that hearing motion passes. We will now move to the consent agenda. And the following resolutions were pulled from the consent agenda and will be voted on separately. That's Resolution 2025-429, -432, -450, -457, and -464. And the first one, which we'll vote on separately, is Resolution 2025-429. And before I ask for a motion on that, we have 2 cards, and I'll let these guys speak before we get going on it. And the first one is from Brent Weatherby. Is Brent?
It's right there.
Come on down. As you get to the podium, name and address in 3 minutes.
Brent Weatherby. I'm representing the Waco Professional Firefighters. I currently serve as the president. Spoke earlier, and I thought it was very important for us to come back in case there's a different audience here to hear it. We're very thankful for what y'all have done supporting public safety. We really appreciate that, and we recognize that. The main thing we're here for today is to show our support for Chief Robbie Bergeson. He is on deck to be appointed as our next fire chief, and we think it's very important that he's an internal candidate. He knows Waco. We haven't had an internal candidate for about 10 years, and we really think that the consistency that he's going to bring is going to be great for the department. And spend the rest of my time, I just would like to talk about the process that was used in selecting Chief Bergeson. City management did a great job involving the association. They involved other city directors. They involved city stakeholders, people out in the community. So I feel that we got a real honest opinions on what everybody thought would be best for fire chief, and I feel that Chief Bergeson is going to fit that bill, and just wanted to publicly support him and also publicly support our city management and our city council, because both of y'all have all supported us greatly, and we appreciate that. As I got my whole life, it's always been told that if people are supporting, you need to make sure that they know that you're appreciative. And we really are, because in times like this, sometimes you just hear the negative. So it's very important for us to voice the positives when we can. And thank y'all for that. And just once Chief is appointed, I'd like to congratulate him. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weatherby. We're all excited about Chief Bergeson tonight. We have another card from Philip Burnett. Are you here? Here you come. Philip, we want to hear some good things from you too.
Quite the contrary. Joke.
He's not too far away from us.
Yeah, no. Distinguished council, Mr. Mayor, my name is Philip Burnett. For the last decade or so, I've served on the E-Board and president in Local 478, the Waco Professional Firefighters. And I spoke to you earlier about some things, and I don't want to be a broken record with what Brent said, President Weatherby and Captain Weatherby. But we do support what we've obviously seen that you have poured into public safety and what that looks like here. We've seen much changes. I grew up earlier I heard somebody say about where my house is. Mine was like right over there on the other side of that river, right over there. And then I heard Mayor Pro Tem Barefield talk about Waco for Wacoans. Well, that's all I've ever believed in. This is the only place I ever tested. This is the only place I've ever wanted to work. And we are a conglomeration of people. You look across that back row, I can promise you when 911 is called, if we have to go, you're getting the best service. Those citizens are getting the best service they're getting anywhere in the country, I promise. Chief Bergeson is part of that, and he has been for 28 years. And I think that the continuity and looking forward to the future of what Wacoans for a Wacoan for a Wacoan is very important to what the future of this department looks like. And so thank you for that. Thank you to city management for continuously involving us into what it looks like to help shape our department and not just using, their stature to point to where we needed to go, but actually listening to our voices. So thank you again. Thank you all for your continued support in public safety, and congratulations to Chief tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burnett. We will now, actually, we take this to a motion. Do I hear a motion?
Mayor, would you mind?
Oh,
Jump in there ahead of you.
During the discussion period or after the motion? Or before, or, you want to do it now, don't
Who
you?
wants to do it?
Y'all gonna say some things, I'm sure, after motion. So I would like to just say some things to Robbie, if it's all right. This is a good day. Robbie, on behalf of the manager's team, I just want to say how much confidence I have in you to be our fire chief. We did a very exhaustive search. We involved literally like 100 people. And I listened to their opinions about you and other candidates. And I'm excited for you to step into this critical role at this critical time. Your selection, my recommendation for your selection, it really is a culmination of 3 decades of work and effort that's significant. It's taken you away from your family at times, and it's really been exemplary, particularly the 28 years you've served here in Waco. You've been at every role, all the way up and down, and you've shown operational excellence in every role. You've shown leadership in every role, and you've shown an unwavering commitment to community safety. And that's what our community and our citizens and these members in the back deserve. You've got an impressive resume, we all know that, tons of credentials, master's degrees, all sorts of great discipline in showing what it takes to be a leader, to continue to invest in yourself and learn. I think that's going to set a great tone for our department, to continue to invest all the way through your career. And certainly these qualifications and your deep understanding of our department and the operations and our needs in the community really set you apart for me. You're very well prepared to not only be the consistent force, I keep hearing that word, consistent, and continuity. I think there's something more, though, that you're going to do for this department. You're going to take us to the next level. You know, back in March, we sat down, me, you, and Ryan, in my conference room, when we named you interim, and I put a couple things in front of you, and I said, I want you to work on a couple things. I think it was communication was one, getting out into stations was another. And, I just want to acknowledge you not only met the expectations for those couple of things to accomplish in the interim period, but you really exceeded them. You brought a lot of value in the interim period, and that's not easy to do as an interim chief in only a few months. And not only did I notice that, but frankly, people in my office noticed it, people around the community noticed it, and people in the fire service noticed it and got back to me and said, hey, there's some really neat things happening in this interim time period. We're really excited about what Robbie's doing and bringing to the team. So as we move forward with this process and the council makes their motion, I just wanted to let you know you've got my full confidence. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see your family here and what they mean to you, and excited to see so many team members from fire here supporting you. And so congratulations a little ahead of time, and thank you for staying with us.
Thanks for those comments. City Manager Ford, excellent. I think a lot of us are going to be echoing that sentiment here in a second. I'm going to ask for a motion on this resolution.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Now we have some time to discuss this new appointment. I'll open the floor here.
Chief, I want to say we're really excited for you to assume this kind of permanent role as opposed to the interim, to peel off the interim label. I think you've done an amazing job as a servant leader. You've led with humility and you've led with strength. You've led with wisdom. And I think, as we've heard here tonight from some folks from the union, but also the show of force here in the room, is that per our city manager's comments, it's not just continuity and consistency, but it's also you're poised based on the trust you have from your department to really take us to another level. When you have that kind of trust and buy-in, you have the credibility for 28 years of service. I think that speaks volumes. There's a poem that I really love that ends with, as long as you stay put year after year, eventually you'll find a world beginning to revolve around you. And it's kind of the gaining strength in your dedication. And so I welcome this new era of leadership, and I'm grateful for what you've given, and I look forward to what you have to give.
Yeah, Chief, I'll just say really quickly, over the course of this most recent hiring process, as you've been in the interim position, I've had multiple people completely unprompted come up to me as I've been out and about at neighborhood meetings or farmers market and voice their support for you and reiterate that your commitment to the city of Waco and our fire department and all of the folks who serve there is incomparable, and that we would be very hard pressed to find somebody who's a better fit for the job than you. Obviously, we as council were not in on the formal interviews that you had with the city manager's office, but to me, those interactions said all I needed to hear. It not only showed that you have high character and high competency, but that you care deeply about the community that you have called home for so many years now, and that it is more than just a place for you to have a job and collect a paycheck, but that you are a part of the community here. And as people that are elected by the community up here in the dais, that means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. So I'm really happy to be able to vote on this evening, and really excited to see where you take the department over the coming years.
I'll say working 28 years with the department is really impressive. And I also think it says something that you work with people for 28 years and they support you. Because, I mean, that's not easy. So congratulations. I think this is really exciting, and I think it's exciting for you and for the department and for the city.
I just want to say congratulations and thank you, because with your impressive resume, I'm sure you have choice. So thank you for staying here in the city of Waco.
Chief, thank you and congratulations for this assignment. It is not unnoticed when people end up going full circle. And we mentioned earlier in the work session about our intentional sowing into our team. And we sow and grow. And having you gone from a firefighter in the department to now leading the department speaks volumes of you, speaks volumes of our commitment to growing and sowing our own. And your leadership has not just been here in the city of Waco. You've led regionally, you've led across the state in various positions, and that just exemplifies who it is that you are and the best in class that we see and serve with every day. So we're incredibly excited for you to take the helm permanently, and grateful to your family and to your colleagues and friends for supporting you and you supporting us. Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, thanks, Chief. I appreciate your history of service to Waco. First of all, I mean, you're super highly qualified, and I always like it when you can hire from within. I know the continuity is always great, but you have to have the right, skill set. The timing has to be right. The desire has to be right. It's all got to line up, and it seems like everything lined up here, and I'm so happy that that's worked out. And I do notice that there's a new fire station and 15 new firefighters coming, so you're a great negotiator, too. I see. So I'm impressed by that. And I did see in your resume that you went to Fort Hays State. Are you from Kansas? Not from Kansas, okay. But not everybody's from Kansas? But that is in Kansas. That is you were schooled up in Kansas, all right? Is that the same Fort Hays? Same Fort Hays, yeah. Okay. Well, and Brendan, I'm from Kansas. We got a brain drain on Kansas going here. Anyway, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're the fire chief of the city of Waco. So this is fantastic. I'm loving this. So again, I appreciate you, and this is going to be great. I appreciate your commitment to the city and your future commitment to the city. You're joining a great group and I appreciate all you guys standing along the back. You got a lot of great support. We support you guys, and I think all of us, public facing, are so proud of our public safety departments. We saw the police chief and commanders this afternoon, and you guys up here tonight, and the new police chief. Welcome to the position. We have every confidence in you. So with that, I will poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Borderood,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, and that motion passes. And I'm going to immediately move to Resolution 2025-450, and I'm going to call on City Manager Ford to introduce our new fire chief to speak on this resolution.
Well, what's a party if we don't give Robbie a chance to get up here and talk to us about Resolution 450? It's a good one. Wanted to have this discussed in business session for a couple of reasons. One, it gives our new chief a chance to address you, as well as I want to cover just really transparently, we're moving into this grant, and there's there is a long-term budget obligation embedded with adding these 15 firefighters with the grant. And so I wanted to give Chief a chance to discuss that, as well as how the positions would be used to staff our heavy rescue truck and give us flexibility in the field. So I'll let our newly appointed chief work through Resolution 450 at this time.
Thank you, Bradley. All right, time to start work, right?
Immediately.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I'd like to go over and just give you a quick overview of this fiscal year 2024 staffing for adequate fire and emergency response or SAFER grant application. The purpose of this request is to apply for 15 new firefighter positions at a cost. The grant will be just over $3 million. Is my slides going to come up?
Say again over?
I think
I don't
is that
know.
what,
I think they're working on it.
They're trying to load the slide.
we're on it.
Having some technical difficulties. We'll get them up there, Robbie, just a
All right.
second. We're just trying to make it extra hard on you tonight.
Yeah,
We said too many nice things.
yeah. I'm not used to that, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I know they're working on it, though.
Well, I take this opportunity to thank you guys for your support, and you too, Bradley and the management team, and of course, all the members of the department. It means a lot. It's-
Could you use one of the mics up here, or?
Oh, it's not the mic, it's
Not his mic, it's
slides
slides.
we're looking for. Yeah.
Right.
Mayor, you could
We do
give
like
us
a
maybe another joke? I don't know.
slideshow.
Yeah, got a joke?
Oh, I thought you were going to say interpretive dance. I was like, let me wait.
We can do that, kill some time.
That's you.
Chief, while they do that, it sounds like this item is applying for a grant where there's going to be a match for some personnel. Is that right?
That's correct. It's a 3-year grant, and it's a city match of 25% the first 2 years and 65% in year 3.
Okay.
And then we'll assume 100% at year 4.
Okay. And the authorization is for us to just go ahead and apply for it?
That's correct.
See if
The
we
dead-
can get it.
Yeah, the deadline to apply is July 3rd.
Okay.
That's the gist of it. I mean,
While we're waiting,
I'm good with that.
y'all could still address the consent agenda real quick, and then we'll get it loaded and come back.
give us a second, Rob, Chief Bergerson, to address the other resolutions, and hopefully in the next 5 minutes, we'll call back on, we'll address 450. We'll now move to Resolution 2025-432. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second on 432. Is there any discussion? Acting or Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please poll the council?
Bearfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We will now deliberately and carefully and slowly move to Resolution 2025-457. Do I hear a motion?
Oh, yes. Move for approval.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion around this this resolution that has to do with, I think, an event at Baylor University and some traffic control.
Some transit?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
No further discussion?
Unless it's needed.
I don't think it is. Assistant City Secretary Spikes, would you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes, and now we'll move on to Resolution 2025-464, also I believe it's a Baylor event, traffic control issue. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this particular motion?
No discussion, but I don't know that it was said that it was pulled because of a affidavit of substantial interest.
There was affidavit of a substantial interest on all three of these by our council member from
Correct.
District 3 relative to his Baylor connections.
Yeah.
But
I had to call him out when he can't vote on stuff.
that aside, Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The next item to consider will be the consent agenda, which includes Resolution 2025-429 through Resolution 2025-475, except for Resolution 2025-429, Resolution 2025-432, Resolution 2025-450, Resolution 2025-457, and Resolution 2025-464. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just want to highlight again the steps we're taking in the area of housing, specifically as we seek to address our housing crisis for our most vulnerable here in Waco. We've got several here in the consent agenda today. Totally in the line of needing to pull them, so I don't want to discuss them too much. I don't know what my cutoff is, but I'm really thrilled to be able to work with some folks across the city. I know some of them are here this evening to continue our efforts in addressing, providing permanent housing for members of our community.
I will echo Councilmember Ewing in that it is just reiterating the emphasis of our work in housing and what we have to do to see to good, solid housing for all of our community, especially our most vulnerable. And we can't do it alone, and it takes the partners that are involved in the various resolutions that we have tonight, some of which are here, and just know that we appreciate you standing up with us and doing your part for this work, and we will continue to do ours.
Any further discussion? Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Borderoud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We'll now revisit Resolution 2025-450. Do we have the?
We searched the cloud very intently and looked.
Hey, there we go.
Thanks, Ike.
Chief Bergerson made it happen.
Don't tell me about it.
All right. Mayor and council, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the staffing for adequate fire and emergency response or SAFER grant application that we plan to submit. The purpose of this request is to apply for a SAFER grant for a little over $3 million that will fund 15 new firefighter positions that will support 2 different apparatus to enhance coverage and response capabilities. This will help us align with the National Fire Protection Association Standard 1710, which is the deployment standard for professional fire departments in terms of daily staffing. It will help us improve response effectiveness and reduce gaps in an outlying coverage area, and it will help bolster our effective response force for structure fires and critical incidents. An effective response force is the number of firefighters required to adequately handle certain situations and complete all of the tasks nearly simultaneously. The total city match over the 3 years is about $1.9 million. And again, this is 25% city match in years 1 and 2 and 65% in year 3. The first part of this grant will fund 3 additional firefighters for Fire Station 12 at 3300 Flat Rock Road, which will enable that engine company to have 4-person staffing every day. The Texas Commission on Fire Protection requires that they mandate a 2-in, 2-out rule, which requires essentially 4 firefighters to be on the scene before safely entering a structure fire for interior operations. Now, our current model of 3-person staffing works efficiently in the city's core, where fire stations are in relatively close proximity and often arrive almost simultaneously. Station 12, located in a less dense coverage area, does not benefit from that close station spacing, leaving crews without support during critical early moments of a structure fire. The average response time for Station 12's closest backup from Fire Station 2 on Park Lake Drive is 9 minutes and 44 seconds, creating a significant delay in meeting the 2-in, 2-out standard. This gap delays interior fire attack, rescue, and ventilation operations, which can increase the risk to occupants and firefighters. Sorry. The second part of this grant will fund 12 firefighters to staff a heavy rescue truck at Fire Station 1. The heavy rescue truck was purchased for $1.5 million in fiscal year 24 and is scheduled for delivery in the fall of 2025. Currently, this unit is cross-staffed by personnel from Engine Company 1 and Truck Company 1 at Fire Station 1, meaning when a technical rescue call comes in, they will staff the rescue truck and leave the other units unstaffed. The heavy rescue truck, or Rescue 1 as we would call it, will serve as the primary deployment asset for complex incidents. So when I say technical rescue, what does that mean? Technical rescues encompass high-risk, low-frequency events that require specialized training and equipment beyond traditional firefighting, such as confined space rescue, high-angle rope rescue, trench collapse, structural collapse and search and rescue, swift water and flood rescue, which we just saw last week with the flooding, and vehicle and machinery entrapment or extrication. You can think of this vehicle as a large rolling toolbox. Additionally, the Insurance Service Offices, or ISO, and the NFPA Standard 1710 requires that effective response force at structure fires arrive within 10 minutes and 20 seconds, 90% of the time. Our current response model to commercial structure fires assigns 23 personnel, but the standard requires 29. If departments cannot assemble an ERF within the required time frame, ISO may deduct points in the fire suppression rating schedule, which could impact the community's overall classification. Applying for this SAFER grant for funded firefighters for Rescue 1 would help ensure the technical rescue readiness 24/7 and would add depth to our daily ERF. The financial impact and timeline, again, federal dollars are just over $3 million, and the city's match over 3 years is about $1.9 million. The application period, it's required to be submitted by July 3rd, and award notifications will be made by August 18th of this year, so a very quick turnaround. Any questions?
Any questions for Chief Bergerson?
No, I'm glad that this is going to, enable us to continue to meet our ISO 1 rating and keep our classification for our constituents, which obviously saves them money with home insurance, but also goes to further our efforts in maintaining first-class service throughout our community.
Yeah, and anytime we can leverage funds outside of the city, I think that's a wise investment for us.
With the federal chipping in a pretty material amount.
Absolutely, yeah, fully agreed.
Okay, that's it. Thanks,
all
Chief
right,
Ferguson.
thank you. Yep.
Is there a motion on Resolution 2025-450?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'd like to just mention also that I overlooked this, I guess. I'm not opening the deal on 447, but the new fire station coming in on LaSalle, we probably should have celebrated that a little bit more today, but I'll celebrate it in the context of this resolution, the new fire station number 4 going in on LaSalle. $6 million deal. Again, a great negotiation, Bergerson, on making sure you had 15 firefighters and a new fire station. It's crazy. All right, I will poll the council on this particular resolution 2025-450. Assistant City Secretary Spikes, please poll the council.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano,
Yes.
Porterrood,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The next item on the agenda is, yeah, let's hear it. Congrats, Robbie. The next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2025-476. Deputy City Attorney Pradon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, adding the honorary name of Ernesto Fraga Street to a portion of 29th Street between Dutton Avenue and Spate Avenue in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, authorizing changing the city plan to include the honorary name, authorizing changing the City of Waco maps, providing for additional street signs, providing a severability clause, and providing and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on June 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porterrood,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We now move to ordinance 2025-477. Deputy City Attorney Pradon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending certain portions of the Code of Ordinances, 1, Chapters 11, Flood Prevention and Protection, 22, Streets, Sidewalks, and certain other public places, 23, Right-of-Way Management, 25, Traffic and Vehicles, and 26, Utilities, for the purposes of incorporating amendments to align with the National Flood Insurance Program and with FEMA policy and recommendations, to align meter testing specifications with American Water Works Association standards, to allow for certain accessory structures without requiring a floodplain variance, to adjust requirements concerning building heights above base flood elevation freeboard requirements, to align with previously adopted stormwater design criteria, to adjust titles in accordance with the recent city departmental reorganization, and to align with and to remove design criteria that is replicated within the previously adopted street design criteria, stormwater design criteria, and water and wastewater design criteria, and 2, multiple sections of Appendix B subdivisions for the purposes of adding, removing, and updating definitions, updating the preliminary plat approval process, to allow for administrative approval of minor conditions, removing specific design requirements for streets, utilities, and drainage, providing a definition for and providing reference to adopted guiding documents, removing and updating plat requirements relating to on-site sewage facilities, adding or updated document titles throughout the ordinance as necessary, and requirements for subdivision performance guarantees, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on June 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just a big shout out to Assistant City Attorney Pradon over there. Not an easy one.
Yeah, there was a lot of work done on the
The reading of it is what I was getting
Oh,
at.
these-
Yeah.
the reading, I will say there was quite a bit of work done on updating the document and the language too, which are the red.
That as well.
But that was quite a long ordinance. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Assistant City Secretary Sparks, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porter-Ruud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. Deputy City Attorney Perdon, we will now move to ordinance 2025-478.
An ordinance amending section 25-133.1 temporary construction speed zone of Article 6 speed regulations and Chapter 25 traffic and vehicles of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, to adopt a temporary construction speed zone on the main lines and frontage roads of Interstate Highway 35 from South 12th Street to South Loop 340, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for a penalty, providing for an effective date, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on March 18, 2025.
Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Assistant City Secretary Sparks, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porter-Ruud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We now move to ordinance 2025-479. Deputy City Attorney Perdon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing that the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of the code, providing that the zoning map shall be changed so that certain property containing approximately 0.1894 acres described as Lot 23, Block 1, J.I. Moore Addition, generally located approximately 250 feet west of the intersection of South 18th Street and Webster Avenue, property ID 182299, known as 1905 Webster Avenue, shall be changed from M3 district classification and become and be designated into O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 6-0 council vote on first reading on June 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Assistant City Secretary Sparks, will you please poll the council?
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porter-Ruud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. We now move to ordinance 2025-480. Deputy City Attorney Perdon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing that the comprehensive plan be amended to change the land use designation from suburban residential to office industrial flex on approximately 46.30 acres according to the deed to Harris Creek Baptist Church recorded under McLennan County Clerk's document 2022-048358 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, located in the Archibald Willingham Survey Abstract 898 and the Isaac Pitts Survey Abstract 713 in the city of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, and being out of the remainder of a called 521.33 acres described in a deed to SunWest Land LTD recorded in volume 219, page 252 of the OPRMCT, located approximately 600 feet east of the intersection of West Highway 84 and SunWest Boulevard, known as 27501 West Highway 84. Property ID 413960, providing that the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of the code, providing that the zoning map shall be changed so that an approximately 27.97 acre portion out of the called 46.30 acre tract described above shall be changed from R1B to O2 district classification, and 2, an approximately 18.33 acre portion out of the called 46.30 acre tract described above shall be changed from R1B to C2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on June 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? There being none, I will ask Assistant City Secretary Sparks to poll the council.
Fairfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porter-Ruud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. The next item is ordinance 2025-481. Deputy City Attorney Perdon.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, closing the 7th Street right-of-way between Austin Avenue and the alley between Austin Avenue and Franklin Avenue for the 7th 7th Street Plaza in the city of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, directing city maps to be changed to reflect the closure, retaining all rights, title, and interest in the right-of-way, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by 6-0 council vote on first reading on June 3rd, 2025.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? This one is about the closing of 7th Street and the little board game and everything. Did we determine if Darius and I were going to get a space in that board game on the,
No,
for the official,
I don't know.
official filming of Men in Black?
Park said something about they couldn't get it through.
Couldn't accommodate that? I will not, that won't affect my vote tonight.
There'll be no Men in Black squares.
Assistant City Secretary Spikes, will you please poll the council?
Bearfield,
Yes.
Lozano, Porterud,
Yes.
Ewing,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Holmes.
Aye, that motion passes. Next item to consider is the hearing of visitors. During hearing of visitors section of the agenda, we provide an opportunity for the public to present concerns or address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on the agenda. The council is unable to conduct a discussion, but we'll listen. We'll ask staff to look into concerns and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to the council. If you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. And we do have a couple of cards tonight. And Alfred, I've got a couple, I'll let you go first here. Alfred Solano, good to have you here tonight, Mr. Solano. Name and address, and then 3 minutes.
City's first pocket park located at Austin Avenue between 23rd and 4th Street in honor of former Mayor, thank you, Virginia Dupuy. Mayor Dupuy has a distinction of having been Waco's longest-serving mayor in recent decades. Her leadership and dedication have left a lasting impact on the community, fostering growth and unity. Under Mayor Dupuy's leadership, Waco showed significant planning and development in downtown and riverfront. Mayor Dupuy previously chaired the Greater Waco Chamber's water. Do I need to talk about Mayor Dupuy anymore? Everyone here knows Mayor Dupuy. She's fantastic. But I do want to say that she's created an environment for community engagement and leadership through her work. And while her formal education-focused work on the Education Alliance, later Prosper Waco began, you know what, this would help a whole lot.
Hey, Alfred, go back and we'll make sure we accommodate. The first phrase of your, we didn't get that on the, I heard.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay, yeah.
About the park you're talking about.
I am here tonight to respectfully request that the City Council consider naming the city's first pocket park located at Austin Avenue between 23rd and 24th Street in honor of former Mayor Virginia Dupuy. Is that good? As our city's first pocket park, this green space represents a new chapter for Waco, a chapter that stands in part on the foundation laid by Mayor Dupuy. I think we can all agree that naming this park after our longest-serving mayor would be a fitting tribute to her legacy and a reminder of the values that have shaped the city of Waco, the city to believe in. So thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Solano. Appreciate you being here tonight. We have one other card from Ephraim. Mr. Herring, I've got a card here, but I don't see Mr. Herring. Is he out in the hallway or anything? All right. Mr. Herring, he is not here. Okay, is there anyone else present who would like to speak during the hearing of visitors? Seeing no one, we will now close the hearing of visitors and go to council comments. Are there any announcements the council would like to make? This is our last meeting for about a month and a half, so if you have anything.
Things, Mayor.
Yes.
One, this morning, Councilmember Lozano and I spent some time at TSTC in the Visitor Center with the National League of Cities team that was here, the upskill team. The city was a grant recipient for upskilling, reskilling, and post-secondary pathways cohort. It was NLC's first cohort of this kind, and we had an opportunity just to share and showcase how we are working to solve for our workforce problem with the largest gap that we have, those 16 to 25, and creating pathways through certifications and various trade recognitions. We got to hear from some adult learning students today who just blew my mind. And so if you needed any assurance that we're on the right path with finding workforce solutions and upskilling and reskilling the citizens, our residents of Waco, I bore witness today, and Councilmember Lozano saw witness today that it's working. And I'm super excited. We've got a long way to go. Our numbers are not what they need to be. But on the path that we're on with our amazing partnership with TSTC, with MCC, we're ahead of this game with creating opportunities for CTEs in middle school to advance and lead towards trade moving forward in our education system. We heard from Representative Curry, all those things that are aligned with the goals that we present in making our workforce whole. Second point is shout out to all our council members minus our Bullhorn council member for participating in the Central Texas African American Chamber of Commerce's annual Juneteenth parade. We had a wonderful Saturday. Josh was missed being the hype man, but we had a great time. Our newest council members they did the thing, and George walked there and walked back and did all kinds of things. So had a wonderful day. Deputy City Manager Emerson was with us as well. So we wanted a special shout out to the City Secretary's team for always stepping up and making an amazing float for us, mere council folk. And a lot of candy, and just had a great day Saturday. In that mention, Thursday, I wanted to stop for a minute and take an opportunity to recognize Juneteenth. It's coming up on this Thursday. The city, of course, will be closed because everybody has figured out that this is a day that everyone needs to celebrate. So I encourage you to do something important and impactful on Juneteenth. I think you should take a minute to look at the history of Juneteenth and know that it is, while we are excited that it is a national holiday at this point, this is truly a Texas thing. And to understand what Order 3 from General Granger meant to the people who were enslaved in the state of Texas, and recognize that while we have come very far, we've got a ways to go, and that time wasn't that long ago. So I encourage you to look back at history to understand how we move forward in our future.
Great words, Mayor Pro Tem.
Just a quick note that this Friday, we've got a great Brazos Nights lineup.
Yeah.
Diggable Planets and DJ Spinderella, and a band, RC and the Grits, who I hope has merchandise for my son's sake.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm really excited about.
RC will enjoy that.
Yeah, he told me if they've got a T-shirt, get it for him. But looking forward to that this Friday night. And then also, since we won't have council before, 4th on the Brazos is going to be a lot of fun. I think my wife and I are planning to go out there as we have in years past, and that's always great at Touchdown Alley. So just encouraging our residents to come join us.
Sister Sledge, right?
Sister Sledge is going to
be fun.
And we're getting
be there.
Quite the lineup over the next few weeks.
I know, exciting.
Don't sleep on Waco.
That's right.
Any other comments?
Yeah, Mayor, I'll echo the sentiments of my council members up here in terms of acknowledging that this is our last meeting for a while and wanting to celebrate what we have coming up. On a more somber note, I do just want to lift up the families and the communities of Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband that were shot and killed, as well as State Senator John Hoffman and his wife that were wounded in recent days. It is not an easy thing to pursue a call to public service. But I can tell you in my personal experience, that is definitely not an outcome that you foresee being one of the challenges you have to face. And it is just my hope and my prayer that we as an American society don't grow numb to this and don't move forward in accepting sort of the codification of this level of violence into sort of our societal pact that we have with one another. So, yeah, just wanted to acknowledge that and, thought about it in the moment of silence today as I came in. But hearts and thoughts and prayers definitely with the families and the communities up there in Minnesota.
Well stated. Any other comments, guys? I don't want to get past this without shouting out a happy birthday to our deputy city manager, Deeds Emerson. She's 32. She was 32 years old yesterday.
Whoa!
Big 32.
How'd she sneak that one in?
Thanks, Deeds. We appreciate you.
Isabel might have had something.
Oh, Isabel.
I wanted to thank the Greater Waco Chamber for the great Washington DC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great experience for me. I was soaking it all in. Got a little teary-eyed when I was at the White House, just for the opportunity for me to be there. Thank you. It was wonderful.
That was a great trip. A lot of us got to go out there and visit with our folks in DC. It was a great trip. Okay, guys, we're not going to see, well, I guess we'll see each other, a lot of us will see each other at July 4th celebration, but we won't have another meeting till August at some point.
Miss Bradley and my birthday, but that's okay.
We'll celebrate that at the
Celebrate
next
in
meeting.
August. It'll be fine. We'll catch up.
Summer break.
We got you.
Are there any council requests for scheduling of future agenda items?
Mayor, if I may, I don't know how to frame it in the scheduling of future agenda item, but I would like to formally explore the naming of the park as brought up during the hearing of visitors tonight on a future agenda.
Immediate action, Solano, you ought to appreciate that. Any other council requests? There being no further business, the business session of June 17th, 2025 meeting is adjourned at 7:37 PM. Thanks.
I don't know why I didn't say it, but 1, 2, 3.